morning. It is February 16th, I believe. And it's 2019, and these are your morning announcements. Rick is here with me. We are on our way to work. So, Trump has declared a state of emergency.
And then he went golfing.
You know, this whole thing with this border wall business is, do we need to have protection at the borders from people coming over illegally? Probably. But there's a lot more people coming over the border than just Mexicans. I hope everybody understands that. There's a lot of people who come in over the border in Canada. A lot. Russians, Chinese, North Koreans, South Koreans, people who make up what was once the USSR, people from Africa. There's a lot of people coming in over the border. So yeah, do we have a illegal immigration problem? Yes, we do. We do. We have too many illegal people in this country. That said, there is something that everybody needs to understand about our economy. And I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Our economy, our capitalistic economy, depends on a slave class. It depends on a slave class. Ever since, I think it was 1938, when the minimum wage law, the first federal minimum wage law was established, our country has depended on illegal immigrants to do all kinds of piddly jobs that Americans did not want to do for the standard wage that was being paid for that particular job. For instance, agriculture. People who get paid to pick vegetables and fruits are not paid very much, even by the standard wage, even by an American standard wage. They're not paid very much, okay? It is a thankless job. It is a migrant job where you have to travel from place to place to place to place. You can't establish yourself. You can't, like, buy a house or rent an apartment and settle down and be in one place for any length of time if you plan on being a migrant worker as your chosen career, which is why illegal immigrants have always filled that niche. You know, transient people can flow with it. I mean, Rick grew up in Brownsville and he went to school in Lamira, and every year migrant kids were in his class, weren't they? And they would only be there for a short time, right? So that's the life that you have to live. That's the lifestyle that is behind being a migrant worker. And there just aren't a whole heck of a lot of average American people who want to do that job. So that job has been done traditionally by a lot of illegal immigrants, okay? It also has helped keep the price of fruits and vegetables down in this country. Once you start paying a standard wage for people to do that job, well, the prices go up. So instead of paying 70 cents for a can of corn, you might be paying $2 for your can of corn now. And that is just the reality of the situation, okay? What I think is really behind the whole border wall thing and closing off the country and getting rid of the illegal immigrants, because Trump, being a businessman, does not want to, he doesn't want to make the economy slow down. I mean, that's something that's very important to him, and he is a businessman, and he is concerned about our country and how much money it's making, okay? So he knows that because he hired illegal immigrants to build his buildings. He knows the niche that they fill and the cost savings that they provide, okay? So this is what I think is going to happen. We'll close the borders, both in Mexico and probably up in Canada. They'll start doing something up there too. Then they're going to change or abolish the welfare system. They'll get rid of it. Forcing people to go and work in those jobs that were once occupied by illegal immigrants. Now those people will have to go and fill that niche and do that job. Is that bad or is that good? What do you think, Frank? Yeah, I don't know either. But if you're currently on welfare, food stamps, or something to that degree, and you're an able-bodied human being who is not on disability for any reason, you might want to start thinking about your future prospects and doing something different, because my guess is that's the direction that they're trying to go. Welfare is very expensive for our country, and if you pull that away, if you get rid of welfare and food stamps, and or seriously change the criteria to be able to get those things, it's going to force people to take whatever job they can get, because they're going to have to. They're going to have no choice. And I think that that's what our government is looking at. They're looking at, okay, welfare has turned into this giant flaming ball of chaos. There are so many people on welfare that don't need to be on welfare, who are able-bodied, who could be working, and they know this. They know that this is a thing. How do we stop this perpetual downhill snowball from getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger? Well, you pull the rug out from underneath it and let it fall and crash and break up. And I think that that's actually the true force behind the whole let's get the illegal immigrants out of the country thing, is our capitalistic system, which requires a slave class, will be emptied out and refit with American people. And maybe that's good. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that is exactly what needs to be done, okay? To get people off welfare, to get people working. Maybe that's it. Maybe that'll help people, light a fire under them to try to do better with their lives, instead of just being complacent with the little bit that they have, I don't know. But I think that that's what's behind it. That's just my thoughts. And I don't think that Trump is working on something this isn't his idea. This isn't something that he came up with. I think that this is something that has kind of been in the works for a while and has been talked about for a while. I mean, illegal immigration has been a topic of conversation long before Trump was president. So I think that the media has been doing their job. They're getting it into people's minds, getting people to think about it and get opinionated on it, so that when they do force this upon the American public, it won't be such a jarring concept. So that's where I'm at with that. But anyways, for real, posted a video this morning by this guy whose name I can't think of at the top of my head. It's like Baba, I don't know, Baba something or another. He's a black gentleman he's an older black gentleman who lives in Louisiana, who puts his ideas out there. Hey, Kathy. Yeah, I mean, the welfare system is completely broken. It is completely broken. All right, it's obviously a system that perpetuates people to be complacent with almost nothing, instead of encouraging them to do their best and to be competitive and work hard. It basically, I mean, think about it. If you don't have a lot of employment opportunities around you, and on one hand you could work 2 or 3 part-time jobs make, at minimum wage to be able to make enough money to like have maybe a 1-bedroom apartment versus taking a government handout which takes care of everything for you, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I think that our system has perpetuated that madness for way too long, and something does need to be done about it. And I know a lot of, I'm just a little bit left to center in my politics, okay? I'm not flaming liberal, I'm not flaming conservative, I'm kind of right down the middle, but a little left to center. And I know that bleeding heart liberals are going to say, oh, but the children will suffer, the children, the children, the children, the children. Believe me, by the time that this happens, nobody's going to be thinking about the darn children. It sucks, but it's the truth. Nobody's going to be thinking about the children. They're just going to be thinking about their tax dollars and how much they'll save once this new policy is put into place. So that's why Trump is using the national emergency to take advantage of this. He wants this agenda to go. Yeah, I mean, minimum wage, the thing is, there are jobs that are career-oriented jobs, and there are jobs that people do to establish themselves in this world and gain skills so that they can go into a career-oriented job, right? And for years and years and years and years, minimum wage jobs were just that. They were there and they were designed to help you gain skills that could help you get into a better job later, right, Mr. Huck?
Yes.
Like working at McDonald's or being a beggar at a grocery store or something to that effect. They were never designed to be jobs that support families. But all of our jobs went away. Everything went away. All of the industry jobs that, let's face it, not everybody in this world is ready to go to college after high school. Some people should never go to college after high school. So there has to be good jobs out there that people can go to right from high school and start working and establishing themselves in this work world. It used to be the factories. It used to be the factories. There's no factories hardly left in this country anymore. All we have are service-oriented industries. And if we're not willing as a country to try to bring back those factory jobs and compete with China, Trump's ideas on tariffs are good ones because we can't compete with China. We can't build manufacturing jobs here unless we can compete with China, right? So I agree with Trump on the tariffs. I do. I completely do. But we can't raise the minimum wage to $20 per hour for a service-oriented industry that doesn't make a lot of money to begin with. I mean, everybody thinks, oh, McDonald's, they must make millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. After you pay all the people and you pay all the insurance and you pay this and you pay that and you pay that, believe me, yeah, McDonald's is making a lot of money, but not enough to be paying people $20 an hour to do the job that they're doing. They're not. I mean, even if CEOs took a pay cut, which they won't do because they're greedy, okay? You start a business and get into a business and work hard to get to that level, not to take a pay cut. If you paid $100,000 to go to school, doctorate, you're not going to take a pay cut. Not if you put in all that work and all that money to get an education to be at that level. You're not. So, anyways, I love you guys. Mwah. I'm at work. I'm sorry I went off on a tangent today, but this subject is just, no, poor people should not die. I would have to die then, age 7. What we do need to do, though, is we need to rethink our system, the system here in America. We have to rethink it, and we have to revamp it, and we have to do things that are good for all Americans, not just the top 1%. Okay? Love you guys.